Welcome to our channel. The worse you feel, the more likely it's the better take. Julia Garner on the bizarre feeling of making a horror movie. Julia Garner has amassed an incredibly varied filmography over the years. Her first feature credit was the Sundance darling Marcy Marlene. She won 3 Emmys for playing Ruth Langmore in Netflix's hit crime drama Ozark, and she's about to make her franchise debut in one of the most anticipated films of the year, The Fantastic Four: First Steps. However, there's one particular genre she keeps coming back to, and given it's a personal favorite genre, I'm thrilled about it. Garner is delivering a steady stream of horror movies. Her latest in that department is Lee Whannell's Wolf Man, a new spin on the 1941 classic. In this version, Christopher Abbott and Garner play Blake and Charlotte, a husband and wife struggling with their relationship. When Blake receives a death certificate for his estranged father and the keys to his childhood home, he thinks that could be just the getaway they need to get things back on track. Along with their young daughter, Ginger, Matilda Firth, they head out to the remote house in the mountains of Oregon. However, just before arriving, they're attacked and Blake suffers a scratch that kicks off a horrific transformation. Expand article logo. Continue reading. With Wolfman now playing in theaters nationwide, Garner joined me for a Collider Ladies' Night conversation to revisit her journey in film and television thus far, with an extra special emphasis on her experience working in the horror genre. I felt like I could have a voice using other people's words. Garner's acting journey began with her determination to overcome shyness. She explained, "I felt like I could have a voice using other people's words." Where did she find the courage to practice a craft that calls for maximum vulnerability as a shy child? It's gonna sound so depressing. I think I was so used to failing as a kid that I was kind of like, well, what's the worst mentality, so might as well put yourself out there. And I feel like that is the most important thing, is failure, without a doubt. Garner continued to put herself out there, and her willingness to take such risks paid off big time. In fact, one of the very first communities she jumped feet first into wound up putting her on a direct path to scoring her first role in a feature film. Some of Garner's very first screen credits came from acting in student projects at Columbia University. I didn't know anyone. I had no connection to the industry at all, so I was like, well, how can I get in? And this was at the time when there was still Backstage and stuff where you could circle and highlight before the internet, really. But I had an acting teacher, my first acting teacher, Peter Miner, and he was incredible. So he was one of my first acting teachers, and he was a professor at Columbia. And so he was like, you should do some student exercises there. Then I met some student filmmakers there, and with that, one of the student filmmakers there, actually, his girlfriend was casting the American version of Skins, and that same casting director, a few months later, cast Marcy Marlene, and that was my first job, and that was with Chris Abbott. Soon after, award-winning casting director Susan Shopmaker cast Garner in Marcy Marlene, the film widely known for launching Elizabeth Olsen's career. Garner scored another movie role, and that role would serve as yet another major milestone. It'd mark her very first lead role in a film. Garner plays Rachel in the 2012 coming-of-age movie Electric Children. Directed by Columbia Film MFA alum Rebecca Thomas, the movie was recognized by a number of film festivals and nudged Garner closer to how we see her today, as a star. At the very beginning of my career, everything was like a test. I was still young enough that I was like, okay, well, maybe I can change the business and see where it goes. Fingers crossed. But that job, I kind of wanted to see if I could carry a film because that's hard. I kind of wanted to see if I could do that and be consistent with the continuity with the story and all that stuff and emotional continuity. The 74th Primetime Emmy Awards aired on NBC on September 12th. Garner certainly did just that in Electric Children, and she continued to do so in the slew of films and shows that followed. Ultimately, her talent would be recognized with one of the highest honors this industry can bestow. In 2019, Garner won her first Emmy. She won Outstanding Supporting Actress in a Drama Series for her work in Ozark, and would go on to win that award 2 more times before the show wrapped up its 4-season run. While all 3 of her Emmy wins have great meaning, Garner stressed how special it was to be given that recognition for the very first time.